Okay, here's today's little parts haul. This came in the mail. It's a brake adapter for that line I was talking about. It's S10 hard line to Ford soft line for the Ford rear. Pigtails for the fuel pump setup I got for the S10 tank. I just cut it off another one so I could wire it. I did hook a power probe up to the pump. It does work. I got a throttle cable last time I was there, but I did not grab the bracket. And we got a steering wheel out of a 67 Volkswagen Bug. It's little enough that I think it'll fit in there nice, and it has the old look that I'm looking for. I got this set up here because it made more sense to me to just take the whole thing. I do have some of it. I don't have all of it. I do have another reversing valve on the truck too, but so now I know the front brakes can get teed into here, and that setup. This went to like a rear ABS unit, but rear brakes get plumbed right into here, and then this goes into the master. Don't know what this wire is for, but this is how this will work. So now I'll have something to go off of, and I can make the brakes work hopefully pretty soon. I was also able to get this wing window. It's broken, but it's better than no window, I guess. If not, I could use it as a template to make another window out, but I think it'll work in there fine. I'll just seal the bottom half of it. The crack, I think, will give it some character. Goes along with the story of how I got it too. So, because I'm gonna share this because I think it's cool. This is the Volkswagen steering wheel, and I have the center ring took out of it. Took the back ring off of it, and then this had threads here on the inside of the Volkswagen steering wheel, and this is all aluminum. And I thought it'd have a steel insert. Now this is the S10 steering wheel. What I did was, okay, so this is magnesium alloy, and this is steel. So I thought I would be able to weld the steel to the steel in there, and I'll have these splines. And then I tried counting the splines and seeing if I could come up with an adapter. And of course, I looked for a couple minutes, and I knew they weren't going to have what I was looking for. So I came up with this. I cut the whole center out of the S10 steering wheel, so now it's junk. And you can't weld aluminum to magnesium because I was going to weld this insert to the inside of there. So what I did was I took a 1-inch drill bit, drilled out the hole of this. This part sticks inside there, so that gave, this was 1 inch, so that's why I drilled it 1 inch. And that gave it a nice machined fit, almost. There was a hole here in the steering wheel, so I drilled, since I bolted this tight, this back piece, and then I bolted it, and that was nice and tight. And then I lined up, drilled through this side, straight out through the back here, and now I have two bolts going through the steering wheel itself, through the aluminum that's this thick. You can see coming through here into this. So then this was out here, so then I just chopped off the ends. That's still hot. And so now this is mounted the whole back of the steering wheel, so this will go right into the column and plug right in. So that's what I came up with instead of having it welded. I thought I could weld the steel spline to the other spline that was in here because this was much bigger, and I thought that would work, but it didn't. And then you can't weld aluminum to this magnesium, so that was shit out of luck there. And I sat around thinking, went to bed last night, and I came up with this idea. So I went and bought me not this drill, I bought a bigger drill that could take a 1/2 inch. There's a 1/2 inch chuck. This is the diameter here won't fit in my drill press, and so I drilled that out, and I think it came out pretty good. And I'll throw it in the truck to show you. The S10 splines only go on one way, and I had it upside down, so you can't even mix up which way you put it on there. So this is on there. This steering wheel is actually facing the upwards position, and it's locked, so I knew, since the inside's where it needs to be, and the steering wheel straight up and down, so the wheels are pointed straight, so that's all lined up. And you know, this is the S10 nut, and it doesn't fit yet, but I think I'm going to trim this side flange off of there and see if I can't get it to fit. If not, I'll have to come up with a different way, but it's it's on there. And that's it. Steering wheel's in. Back with another update. Making a tranny cross member. This piece here and there was a factory S10 cross member, and I just chopped it in 2 spots and then bolted those on the frame side. And then this actually mounted right up with the tranny. Chevy Express van tranny mount, so it was actually pretty decent. And then just nut it on the back side. And then I just took some really thick angle iron. One side's 12 inches, one side's 10. Don't really matter. But I just welding it fully around. So that'd be nice and strong. It's welded there, back side, all on 3 sides basically, and then that's gonna get plated. So that's basically it, and then I'll just throw it in. Get some bolts here, but got a little chintzy, so I have to go get some grade 8 bolts for that, and then the tranny will be in permanent. I also have a new tranny mount coming. This one's a little beat, so I'll just throw this in temporarily, and then I'll swap out mounts, and I'll be measuring for a drive shaft pretty soon. Hopefully I'll get the measurements this weekend. Today's Friday, and maybe Monday I can go pick up some metal that I need, the flat stock, and then I'll try to place my order for the drive shaft, drop off the yokes, and give them the length that I need, and should be maybe a week turnaround for that. So that gives me some time to play around with some other things inside the truck. I made some more progress today. This was the beat tranny mount that I got out of that Express van that came with the tranny. So I ordered one exactly like this, and just so happens that it fits inside that cross member I made. Almost perfect, this S10 one. So that is junk. Measured for a drive shaft. I actually talked my dad into coming down and help me measure for a drive shaft, which is like impossible to do because he hates cars and helping and anything like that. He thinks I should just buy something new. That's not gonna happen. Converter bolts, torque converter bolts, all tight. Started playing with the brake lines, moved down, tightened it, the one that was loose underneath there, where I had to cut the cross member out underneath. And I made all the brake lines work. This is just a 1/4 inch copper section into here that goes to the rear brake line. There was actually a union there already. And then this is how it worked on an older square body S10 with 2 front lines teed in. This is actually a tee off one of them I got at the junkyard the other day. And then just comes into this hose to here. So I think that'll work perfectly fine, but we'll find out. Radiator situation, the stock Studebaker one, I got a price on recording that, $1,000. That is actually what I have in budget for the entire truck, is $1,000 on top of the purchase price. So that will not be happening. This one probably will be happening. Made some marks here. I just got to cut out the front here for the tanks. Here again, the frame hits, so I'm going to lop the frame off, but the bumper is mounted to the front section of the frame. Nothing else is. So I'm going to make brackets that hold the bumper up from here to the frame here. And I'm going to cut the bumper off, or the frame off in front of the steering box to drop the radiator down. So that should work for me. Both sides. We'll get this low enough, I hope, to close the hood. Yes, I did that. I put some fluid in there. I need to find somebody to help me bleed that, but probably not, so I'm gonna buy a one-man bleeder, do it myself. Window is in, and it's all clear, RTV'd in. There was a little section missing here, so I just filled that in with some RTV. And I'm just gonna go back when it's all dry with the razor blade, clean it up a little bit. Steering wheel I showed, that's in, looks great. The seat kind of fits. So I'm actually starting to build brackets. When I get them, I'll show them for the seats. and got to build the shifter. Researching fuel lines right now. Think I'm gonna throw the tank in the bed. They make adapter fittings to go from the stock fittings on the tank to these fittings here that goes to AN, but I hate AN because I did it in this car and it's all expensive, so I'm gonna do push lock instead. And I found a fuel hose, and I think it'll cost me about $80 to plumb the fuel to there, and I'll have some extra hose left over. And I just need to buy a couple extra fittings, so less than $100 to be able to do fuel, feed, return, and since I'm using this radiator, I should be able to retain these stock ports for the tranny cooler and be able to run lines there for the tranny cooler. Power steering lines, I bought those from the junkyard, so I'll be able to do a mixture between these lines and the other lines, and I bought a cooler for that, so that should work. And today is it's actually Saturday evening. I'm actually about to head out right now. Monday I will be placing an order for that drive shaft.